on to business. Here we go. Okay, so this is OET speaking. We are looking at providing structure today, and the way we do the speaking in this school is we have Monday where we're just thinking, okay, what is this category that OET want us to do? What is this thing that OET want? How can we do it? What does it mean? And then we practice that the following days. So tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you can practice providing structure. Today, though, we're just going to understand exactly what it is and common errors and things like this. Can everyone see my screen now? Does everyone see this here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll look today at providing structure. We'll look at the indicators, and then again we'll look at common errors at the end. Okay, so let's get started. What is providing structure? I know you guys know. Put your hand up if you know this already and you want to tell me on Zoom. If you could just put your hand up. Only two. I think probably 90% of this class know the answer to this. I'm going to choose Hasina, if that's okay, Hasina, and then we'll go from there. So Hasina, what is it, please?
Yeah, providing a structure. So it has there's three what was that? Okay, one sequencing the conversation logically.
Before you go into that, can you just give us the main idea? What is it, the main idea?
Yeah, so overall structure of the conversation.
Structure of the conversation.
Yeah, the consultation or conversation. Yeah.
I love that word, structure. That's a very good word. But we have it already here. So what does structure mean, Hasina? What does that mean?
Structure means the form.
Okay.
Telling patient what will
Anyone give me a synonym for structure. What's another word for structure?
Format.
Not
Frame.
The structure of something. Begins with O.
Organization.
The order. Organizing the conversation.
Someone said the order, right? So look, we have some synonyms. So providing means giving, obviously, giving. We are looking at structure, form, organization, order of the conversation. Now, Hasina, OET have three specific understandings, I suppose, of this. That's what you wanted to talk about, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you remember what they are? There's three.
Yeah, I guess
give her a chance.
Sequencing.
Yeah,
and the sequencing the interview logically.
Okay, so sequencing the interview logically.
Yeah.
Sequencing the interview logically. Is that right, guys? Is she right here?
Yes.
I think she's right. I think she's remembering this correctly. Okay, what about number two?
Number two is signposting.
Yeah, and I already have a picture ready already. So signposting the changes. So here we have a signpost. Signposting changes. We'll talk about this in more detail, guys. Don't worry. We will explain all of this. Let's just see if she remembers all of them. What's number three, Hasina?
It was organizing techniques.
Or using organizing techniques. Norzad, is she right here? Just check, because you know this, don't you? Is she right, everyone?
Yes. Yeah, I think then it was 4 other sub criteria.
There's 4 sub criteria inside this. Yeah, so I'll put this here. There's 4 types mentioned. Okay, very good, Hasina. Thank you.
Thank you.
So guys, let's just review. What is providing structure? It's form, organization, or order to the conversation, as she said, or the dialogue, we can say. Conversation is fine. OET have 3 specific understandings of this. They say we should be sequencing the interview logically. They say we should be signposting, and they say we should be using organizing techniques. If you want to see what OET actually say, this is what they say. This is exactly what she has said. So sequencing the interview, you forgot purposefully, Hasina, but doesn't matter really.
Sorry.
Posting changes, very good. Organizing techniques. So she got almost everything there. Now let's try and understand this in a clearer way though, shall we? Let's try and understand this fully. So when it comes to signposting, this is probably the easiest one. Charles, can you tell me what is signposting? You could put your microphone on, sir. What is this?
Signposting is like just mentioning what you're about to, the next topic you're about to discuss, trying to give a preamble about it so that the patient will know the logical sequence of your conversation with him.
I love that, and I love the word preamble. That's a great word, preamble. Has anyone ever heard that word before? Preamble? It's a great word. You might see that in the reading. To preamble is to do this, to something before you start, right?
It's the beginning.
Give us an example, Nozad, of what are the classic phrases that we always use when we're signposting? For example, let's
move to something.
well, let's move. Yeah, let's move now to blank.
Yeah.
Okay. What else can we say, guys, to signpost? Anyone?
Before we go on.
Before we go on, let's talk about. Okay, blank. We can have just let's talk about.
Yes.
Right, blank. And then we should normally say, is that okay? Right, let's look.
If you don't mind, now I would like to discuss your.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Okay. So here, guys, I hope this all makes sense to you. I'm sure it is. It's about, I'm going to summarize this. It's about changing topic. Okay, let's move on now to, is that okay? Before we go on, let's talk about, if you don't mind. Here's 3 good phrases. Is this unclear to anyone? Is this unclear? Shouldn't be really. Okay, well, when do I do signposting? Aysun, Aisha, Farid. When do I signpost?
When you want to change the topic.
Do I always do this?
No.
Maybe starting the conversation sometimes.
Not normally at the start, actually.
No,
It is changing topic. Do we always change topic in the cue card?
Yes.
Not always.
No.
It's not always.
Not always.
But really, it's only when there is a new topic, right? So we don't actually, or sometimes I find it difficult to select cards with topic changes because they don't always have them, okay? Is that a problem? If I do not do signposting, will I fail my exam if I don't do this? Of course not, right? We only do things in OET speaking when needed, when appropriate, okay? Not just every time you speak, only when needed. Okay, what about sequencing the interview logically then? Let's talk about that. What does it mean? Dr. Habib, maybe you can tell us, or Michelle, if she's available. Maxime, what does it mean sequencing the interview logically?
As for me, it's like following the steps of the cue card.
Yeah, for me, it's just following the steps of the cue card. That's one way. Okay, so I'm going to put this here as A. Okay, follow the steps on the card. Why is that going to be logically, Maxime? Why is that purposeful and logical? Because
the steps on the cue card are already logical. They are starting with like asking questions and then going to management plan and etc.
They are already logical and purposeful, right? So we should follow the cue card more or less. Okay. Sometimes that can be difficult because the patient might change topics, right? We should try to follow the cue card as much as possible. As much as possible. Is there any other meanings to sequencing? Is there any others? There's actually more. There's one more. Kumars, maybe you know this, Zainep, Saria, to follow the steps on the card, because they're already logical.
Not jump around.
Is there any other thing that we should do, though? No one knows this? I'll tell you. I know, but I'm going to just check
Giving
it.
information, maybe.
Like how? Somebody said it.
Just like, first of all, you take blah, blah, blah. After you need to do this. Just like that.
The words like then,
Sequence language.
yeah. So using sequence language, apparently, that is also inside this category. Okay. So first, second, third, after, then. And I'm not going to talk very much about this today. This is a B2 class, C1 level class. You guys should already know these.
Next.
Of course. Yeah, next. Okay. All right. So let's leave this here. Is this clear for everyone? We should be using words like first, second, after, then, third. We should be signposting changes and topics. Let's move on now. Things like that. Is it clear to all of you?
Alan?
Yes, Farid, go on.
Signposting, when we ask for the symptom and then we go for the diagnosis. So we do always the signposting. What I mean by that?
I think you're talking about the menu technique. Is that what you're talking about, Farid?
I'm confusing.
Now, I tend to say that the menu technique is here. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, it's 2 signposts. So I understand what you're saying, but let's just leave that till later. Okay. When should I do this one? When should I do it?
When patients speak a lot, maybe.
In the beginning of the
When
conversation.
patients speak a lot or when doctors speak a lot?
Doctor.
There's so much topic.
We do this only when we speak a lot.
Yeah, no.
Right? We have a lot of things to say.
Task.
First, second. I would say we do this only when explaining. Okay, or advising. What about this one? Should we always do this?
No.
We should.
Yes, we do.
I think we should.
We should.
Yeah, we should do.
Always try to follow the card as much as you can. What happens if the patient is changing topic? What should I do?
Summarize.
Signposting.
So A is yes. Who said that? Who said signposting?
I said.
Farid, what do you mean, sir?
So as we before mentioned that we should change the topic, that if the patient is talkative, that after he finished in a while, maybe we can change the topic as a sample.
So guys, is that clear? He's saying when a patient is talking a lot, maybe changing the topic, and you're trying to follow this, you can use signposting to take it back to the topic. Which phrase should I use to return to the topic?
Second.
Yeah.
Before we
right? So you could say, maybe they're saying blah, 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 blah. Okay, sir, before you go on, or before we go on, let's talk about your medication. Right? What does it mean before we go on?
So it means we consider your request for the patient that we will, before we go, we talk about that one, let's talk about another topic and we will be back.
It means we will come back. We will come back later.
Yeah.
Right? So you can use this phrase, guys, before we go on, or before you go on, sir. Right? Be very polite. Okay? It's a good way to make sure that you don't get too distracted. Okay? Be very careful with this. Obviously, you need to listen to the patient. If they change topic, maybe there is a good reason why they change topic. So wait Wait for some time, but if it continues, then maybe you can use this. Okay. Thank you. That's a great answer. Thank you. Really good answer. Okay, let's look at number 3, because guys, number 3 is the most complicated. What is number 3? Number 1, sequencing. Number 2, signpost. Number 3,
Organizing techniques.
organizing techniques. Now, there are 4 different types, and I think what I will do today is I will show you the 4 types, and you can read them together and even discuss them in groups, okay? Because people like Norzad, other people here, you guys can teach the newer students. Is everyone ready to see the 4 types?
Yes.
Okay, so here is the 4 types. Okay, we have categorization, we have labeling, we have chunking, we have repetition and summary. Now, you can teach each other. As I said before, Norzad, I think probably Charles, Najibullah, lots of you guys know this already. So I want you to go into groups now, just for a short time, and discuss these 4 things. If someone does not know what it is, you teach them, okay? So the rooms are opening now. Please join these rooms very, very quickly, and we'll just have a quick discussion about this. I'll put this here on the chat as well. So please join the rooms now, guys. I'm going to share my screen into the breakout rooms, and let's just move this down. Oops. Teach each other what these mean, or teach new students what these mean. Okay, so I'm going to wait here. And if you're watching on YouTube, we do live classes like this every day. There's 4 hours of interactive live classes like this. I'm going to say goodbye, though. I hope it was useful watching the live class. Check out